The first thing I'll say is I had no idea what to do. I actually studied IT out of school and I was no good at it. That's why I went into law. I describe myself as having a dangerous level of technical knowledge. I have enough just to break things, and that's about it. I always give that caveat. For me, it was around really going to someone who put themselves out there as someone who knew what they were doing and had built this kind of thing before, and really getting guidance from them, coming up with a schematic of what we wanted it to look like, what we wanted it to do. We had an idea in our heads that we wanted this thing to identify the blind spots in people's businesses, but really working out what that looked like. There was some other software that I'd seen that was similar, and so I really modeled what in my head it was like onto paper based on what I'd seen from other people, developed the questions and started to work out some basic logic around if they answer that to this, what does that mean for the end result of the test? So that's really where we started, and where we actually, over a long period of time, mapped out quite a lengthy document, just a Word document that had all those details in it.
Yeah, get it. So in that process there, did you go about drawing out a plan? So did you plan it all first, or did you just jump straight into build? What was the process there?
Jump straight into build.
Straight into build.
How'd that work out?
I mean, it worked, but it was a long and drawn-out process that was frustrating for all parties. So we just jumped in, and we had an idea about what we wanted. Didn't necessarily align with what the developer thought we wanted. I put my hand up and own it that neither side communicated that well. We did get a minimum viable product, but it wasn't the great thing that I was hoping it would be.
Okay, so there wasn't a process up front from the developer to take you through and understand exactly what you're after, what it's going to look like, or you were just pushing them to get started probably?
Only thing we got to do was schematic, where we had, this was the logic for the questions, and based on this answer, this is what would happen. And we had a sample answer for our report. We had a sample answer about what we wanted it to look like. But we didn't really talk about how practical that was or what needed to go into that. Or in version 2.0, we spent a long time wireframing all of the decision trees and working all that stuff out. And we didn't do any of that stuff the first time. And that was one of the big lessons I learned, was around the fact that we didn't plan well enough at the beginning to really understand, because a lot of the logic, I thought it was clear in what I drafted, and it was misunderstood by the developer on the other side. So I was using my language, not their language, and neither of us really questioned it. And then it wasn't until the product was almost finalized that I'm seeing it done, I'm going, no, that's not right. Yeah, that answer shouldn't have that result.